Welcome. This is the Retire Mentality. If this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. And if you've been here before, welcome back. And whether you've been here before or not, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please consider doing that, especially if you find value in this content. And as always, be sure you hit that like button. And if you want to get notified every time I put out a new video, ring the little bell down there. Today's video is going to be a little bit different than my normal videos. I normally talk about real estate investing, financial independence, FIRE, retirement, all these types of investing kind of ideas. But with everything that's going on in the world today, with the economy, with unemployment, with businesses closing, I want to talk about what you should do if you're going on a job interview. I know that we may all be striving to invest in real estate or hit FIRE or these different things, but we're all going to be in different stages of that journey. And I know a lot of people may have lost their jobs, may have lost their businesses, may have been laid off. So there's going to be a lot of people out there looking for jobs right now. And there's a couple things that I think you need to handle differently in this mid-Rona virus, post-Rona, wherever we are. I don't know if we're finished with phase one. We're going to have phase two. Phase one is stretching out. Nobody really knows what's going on. But there are some things that I think that I need to address so that if you're going to be looking for a job with another company, not everybody's self-employed in the world today. So I want to give you 5 tips if you're out there job searching of what you should say in an interview. So let's get to it right now. Thanks. With the state of the economy right now, there's businesses closing, unemployment at record highs, 20-some million people unemployed right now. I just went online and I pulled up a couple of headlines. These were the first 4 headlines I pulled up. I think I just Googled like business closures 2020, something like that. So the first one says 7.5 million small businesses are at risk of closing. Finds this report. I'll put a link in here so you can take a look at it. The second one says small businesses used to define America's economy. The pandemic could change that forever. More than 100,000 small businesses have closed forever as the nation's pandemic toll escalates. So all these people are going to be hitting the job market. Then I found this little handy dandy chart on the U.S. Chamber of Commerce website. It shows how long businesses think they can survive being closed, depending on how many employees they have and how long they've been in business. You can pause the video here if you want to look at this in further detail. It's kind of interesting, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. And then the last one that I pulled up said small businesses could vanish during coronavirus pandemic as states take stronger, broader measures to contain the coronavirus. Economists warn that time is running out to save America's small business community. So these are the people that I'm talking to. You may be an entrepreneur and you may have owned your own business for the last 20 years, but a lot of those people may be hitting the job market as well. So let's help everybody get a new job. Here's 5 tips that I thought might be helpful if you're out there interviewing and you're in the job market right now. So these are important things that I think you should ask any potential employers. Okay, so as you're entering the job market, you may be used to working for somebody else. You may be used to being self-employed. It doesn't matter, but I always look at a job interview as you're interviewing the potential employer as much as they're interviewing you. So you don't be afraid to ask them questions as well. When I used to hire people for my mortgage company, the people who asked me more questions than I asked them always kind of rose to the top. So one of the questions I think you shouldn't be afraid to ask is, what's the financial situation of your company? You don't necessarily need to tell you how much cash reserves they have in the bank, but it'd be nice to know how long they can survive an economic downturn or another closure if the government's going to come back in and close down whatever industry you may be working for, or you may not anticipate. Nobody thought all these businesses would be closed. But now that you've had to learn how to save money, how to budget for a crisis, these businesses also need to be thinking about that. So it's, I think, a fair question to ask any employer, how long can you stay open if you're shut down, or if people are scared into their houses? Like, what's your financial stability? I think the second question, which is a good follow-up to that one, is were you closed down during the first, when this Rona first hit, were you shut down, and how long were you shut down, and were you paying your employees while you were shut down, or did they have reduced hours? Did you have people still working in the warehouse? just because a lot of businesses are shut down, they still could have support staff working or warehouse staff or people keeping up a fleet of vehicles. There's a lot of jobs, even if businesses aren't doing business with the general public, that still need people, keeping the businesses afloat and keep things going in the background. So it'd be good to ask, A, did they furlough people, fire people, lay people off? Did they pay people? How did you handle being closed the first time? And how do you anticipate handling that the second time? Maybe they used up all their cash reserves the first time and they paid all their employees, but if they get shut down again, maybe they can't. So all these things are good questions to ask so that you know what to expect in the future. So, the better the communication, the less surprises, and everybody's better off in the end. Numero tres, I think, would be, what's your growth plan for your company? More than likely, most of these businesses have, contracted during this Rona situation. So their sales are probably down, their businesses are down. How do they plan to grow back up, either to where they were or ahead of where they were, or what's, having a company that sees the future and wants to grow their business is very important for the growth of you as somebody who works for that company. So they should have a good, solid growth plan in place. And I think it makes you an astute looking employee to be concerned about where the future of the business is going. You don't want to work for a business that has no vision for the future or plan to grow. So that's question number 3, which leads us perfectly into question number 4. How can I grow, numero uno, within this company? Like, what is my growth plan? You need to ask, how quickly can I get a raise? How quickly can I get a promotion? How can I move up the corporate ladder? Whatever, I'm going to move from dishwasher to head dishwasher, or district sales manager to national trainer of salespeople, whatever kind of business you're working in. You need to know what the next step is for you, whether it's just the money, whether it's a position, and you need to know how quickly you can do that. So asking that question up front, you might think, because you start off here, the next logical step is here, but maybe this person has been in this position for the past 25 years and they're not going anywhere. So you may be stuck here for longer than you think. So it's a good question to ask right up front, what's my possibility to advance with this company? Because nobody wants to stay where they're at forever. So if we're not growing, we're basically going backwards, I think. So that's a good question, is how can I grow within the company? And finally, number 5 goes right along with that, is what do I need to do to make that growth happen? If I'm going to go from this step to get a promotion, what do you expect of me as your wonderful employee to get to that next step? Or how much do I need to increase my sales? Or what do I need to do to get my next raise? You might think, I'll be here for 6 months and I'm going to get a 3% raise, but maybe you called in sick 24 times and your kid was sick, so you missed another 2 weeks out of there. But so you need to find out what they expect of you to get to the next level. I'm sure they have some sort of a procedure in place for you to get a raise or get a promotion. So asking those questions up front. Otherwise, you can work for a company for 6 months or 6 years, and all of a sudden you're saying, hey, I've worked here for all this time and I've done all these great things and I've never gotten a raise or a promotion. And that's because you never asked what they expected of you. They might say, well, yeah, you did all these great things, but what you needed to do was this. So you need to be working towards the prize. Otherwise, you're just trudging along and you could accomplish all sorts of things, but it wasn't what they wanted to see you accomplish for you to move up in the company. So again, the communication, asking the right questions is what keeps everybody focused and on the same track and keeps things from you being disappointed, because you know what to expect. That's it. That's my 5 tips. If you're out there looking for a job, if you are and you're out of a job right now, I really feel for you. It sucks. We're all losing money during this time. My rental properties are losing money. Real estate's not selling like it used to where I live right now. So we're all having consequences of this, and I feel your pain, and I hope this could be helpful for anybody who's got to get out there and get back into the job market. I even wore, look at this nice shirt I wore today. This would be my job interview shirt if I had to go interview for a fancy pants job. So might not quite go with my look I got going on right now, but I thought I would dress the part, because you got to dress the part, dress for success for whatever job. I mean, if you're looking to be a surf instructor, this might not be the attire to wear. But anyway, I hope this was helpful. If it was, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, tell your friends, send it to somebody else you might know, share this with somebody who may be looking for a job. And as always, I thank you for coming by, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a great day.